This traffic stop starts with something that seems minor, a driver operating without headlights. But within moments, the conversation takes a very different turn. The officer immediately notices signs that raise concerns about possible impairment, and what begins as a routine stop quickly turns into a roadside sobriety investigation. Watch closely because this encounter features repeated denials, confusion during field sobriety tests, and a heated debate about DUI enforcement. As the tension builds, the question becomes simple: is this driver genuinely misunderstood, or are the officers seeing signs that point to something much more serious? Let us know what your first impression is before the investigation unfolds.
The driver of this vehicle, identified as Miss Rawls, was pulled over for driving without her headlights. Classic start. When the officer questioned her about it, she casually blamed it on the fact that she had just left her mother's place. Yeah, that excuse might work for forgetting your keys, but not so much when you're potentially driving under the influence.
Hold on.
Oh, there.
Right there. Miss Rawls.
Yes.
When you're driving out, you gotta have your headlights on.
I ain't have my headlights on.
No, you ain't have your headlights on.
I had just turned out of my mama's apartment complex when get my chair.
Okay. Hey, step back here with me for a moment. All right. You got anything to drink tonight?
No.
Nothing at all.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
How come I smell alcohol coming from you?
I don't know why you smell that.
I mean, it's easy. It's an easy question. Yes or no? You've been drinking tonight?
No.
You have.
It's always interesting to see how suspects play the classic, "Oh, I have no idea why I've got alcohol breath" card. And it always seems like a solid move for them because, alcohol just magically appears on your breath out of thin air.
You want to take some field sobriety testing?
Yes.
See if you're okay to drive?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You just look straight ahead at me. Turn around, face me. Put your feet together. Hands down by your side. All right. See the tip of my finger?
Yes.
Follow this, moving your eyes and your eyes only. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can't. Don't move your head. Move your eyes only.
Oh, eyes.
All right. You see this?
Mm-hmm.
Move your eyes only. You still moving your head. Don't move your head.
I'm not moving my head.
Ma'am, you're moving your head like this the whole time. All right?
With that settled, the officer decided to do more sobriety tests. The suspect had to stage a midnight roadside remake of Paris Fashion Week, clearly not in the mood for modeling.
Steps up and 9 steps back.
9 heel-to-toe steps. Those are the instructions.
You said.
Okay?
What do you mean heel to toe?
That means when you step, your heel touches your toe.
Oh, I did one. Oh, you want my heel to touch my toe?
That's a heel-to-toe step.
Oh, okay. I just did 9 steps.
Yep, you didn't follow the directions of the test.
Okay.
That's the whole point of it, okay?
I thought you were saying 9 steps up and 9 steps back. This is my heel.
840 Montgomery County, 1027 Georgia. You can begin. You can go again if you want to.
1. That's heel to toe. That's my toe.
054-022-607. 054-022-607.
3, 4, 5. So they're coming off because they're bad.
All right. Well, you can take them off if you want to.
Oh, you want me to take them off?
That's up to you.
Apparently, the suspect thought heel to toe was more of a suggestion than a requirement, and the officer's patience was clearly being tested more than her sobriety. Finally, he realized that he had seen enough for what she wasn't having any of it. Quick question, do cops work with quotas since they're always out arresting people?
At this stage, the officer is not making a decision based on a single mistake or one answer. DUI investigations are typically based on the totality of circumstances, meaning officers evaluate everything together: driving behavior, observations during the stop, statements from the driver, and performance during standardized field sobriety tests. What makes situations like this challenging is that viewers often focus on one individual moment, while officers are trained to assess the entire sequence of events. Notice how the officer repeatedly explains instructions and gives opportunities to comply before moving forward. Do you think the tests were explained clearly enough, or do you believe the driver's confusion affected the outcome? Share your thoughts because this is often one of the most debated parts of any DUI investigation.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
For what?
Because you're under arrest.
What am I getting arrested for?
For suspicion of...
When it comes to DUI suspects, they always claim to know the law in police matters. Now it's an accusation about quotas. Clearly the suspect's been watching too much TV.
You just want to meet a quota, and I'm not going to meet that quota. I did 1,
What are you talking about, a quota?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9. Heel to toe.
What are you talking about, a quota?
Because you're trying to meet a quota before you have to meet before the end of the month.
I have no quota.
The suspect was swift in denying everything. Clearly this'll go smoothly in court. The officer had finally had enough, and the line walking portion of the evening is officially closed.
Miss Rawls, turn around, put your hands behind your
Okay,
back.
come on. I get somebody to come get me. It's nothing. To get somebody to come get me. You think I'm under the influence? I walk the line.
This case shows how quickly a seemingly routine traffic stop can escalate into an arrest investigation. From the initial headlight violation to the officer's observations, field sobriety testing, and the eventual arrest for suspected DUI, both sides remained firm in their positions. The driver consistently denied consuming alcohol and challenged the officer's conclusions, while the officer relied on his training and observations to justify his actions. Encounters like this often become the subject of intense courtroom scrutiny, where every statement, instruction, and decision can be examined in detail. Whether you agree with the arrest or think additional factors should have been considered, these incidents highlight the importance of safe driving, clear communication, and accountability for everyone involved. If you found this breakdown as intense as we did, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more real-life body cam breakdowns.
If you ever find yourself in this situation, maybe just call an Uber next time. Or you could probably wait to meet your future spouse just like the suspect in the next case. Suspect Brooke Teague decided to have more than what her body could tolerate. However, she was not expecting that spending the night in jail for DUI charges could perhaps land her a husband. If she saw that coming, she definitely would do it again.